This is our cold email multi-agent system. It's capable of sending 1,000 emails per day, each personalized one-on-one to every single prospect. So in this video, I will show you how the system is designed and built. So the first thing that I want to show you is an example of an email that we send out. This is an example of an email. Hey, Mike, I saw you place engineering talent, so I thought this could be helpful for you. Here are the companies that you can contact actively hiring for those roles right now. We give them the company and then we propose that we have additional companies for him. The personalization elements over here are the engineering aspect. So what we are doing in this instance is we are searching within their website and understanding which are the kind of companies that they help, as well as this part over here, which is the job posting, which is probably the most interesting part. So let me show you the system and let me show you each of the components of the system. The first system that we have over here is the starting point of the system. What we are essentially doing over here is we are getting all the valid emails from a spreadsheet and then we are passing those over to the personalization aspect. The way this is different from any other kind of end-to-end tutorials or any other kind of system that you might see around the web is that this is actually production ready and something that can be used and not something that breaks if you have 500 leads, 1000 leads, whatever kind of leads. The reason for that is this part over here. What we are using over here is we are essentially getting a number of leads from here, like let's say 1000 for example, and then we are aggregating those into specific batches. So for example, we could have a batch of 30 leads, a batch of 50 leads, or whatever the case might be. And then what we are doing over here is we are iterating on that specific batch and then calling the AI personalization on 50 elements at a time, or whatever the number of batches is. So this is a way, a system like this is actually scalable instead of a simple tutorial that is just for how to build a system, but this is actually a working system or something that could be used. And then over here we have the wait node, and what we are using over here is we are waiting for the last item to be processed. So what happens over here is, let's say we have 1000 items. All those 1000 items are aggregated into batches, let's say in batches of 50. Over here, we are passing the first batch, we are splitting that out. And so this outputs 50 different items. And we are starting the personalization for 50 different rows at the same time. And only when the last row finishes, we start the next batch and go all over again. This is actually how the system is able to run a lot of different leads at the same time. The second element over here, which is probably the most important one and the like where the magic happens actually, is the AI personalization component. So we have multiple agents over here. We had four at the beginning. Right now we are streamlining that to three. So the first one is a research agent. What we are doing with this ICP plus niche snapshot agent is essentially we are passing over two information. We are passing over the website as well as we are passing over the city. And when we are passing over this information, we are asking, is this company a staffing agency? So should we reach out to them? And we give them the full task. We give them an example of what is the output example that we want to have, as well as we pass over information such as what are the specific industry verticals that a company targets. So let's say we go on a specific website. So like let's see this website for example. And by researching the website, we can understand of what is the kind of talent that they place. So in this case, they focus on retail, they focus on e-commerce, or they focus on wholesale. So those are their most interesting talent for them, as well as their most interesting job openings. So yeah, that is what we are doing with this first agent. Couple small things over here. We are using both Perplexity as well as a simple web research. The reason why we are using a simple web research over here instead of Perplexity is purely for cost sake. So we saw that if you are running this for 1000 different leads and using Perplexity, you might be spending a lot. Meanwhile, you can use this kind of system over here within an AI agent, and you can call the website directly with the system over here instead of spending credit in Perplexity and get essentially the same thing. So this is quite powerful, and I think that can be done. We update the sheet with those specific information. So an example over here of the information would be these three columns over here. So staffing, reason, and business type. So as you can see over here, we have true ones. We have also a false one, and then they explain why it's false, as well as give the business type. Then let's go to the flow, and we check whether if it's a recruitment agency, and if this is actually a recruitment agency, we pass those over to the query builder. Now, when it comes to the query builder, what we are essentially doing over here is we are building a query for an Apify actor that we want to use. So within Apify, there are a couple different tools to scrape job listings. We found those two, which are really powerful. The first one is a career site job listing. The second one is advanced LinkedIn job listing. And they have quite a extensive different options over here. So you can target the time range, the maximum number of jobs, title search, location search, description type, seniority level, a lot of different information like that. The query builder and this component over here is essentially to take the information that we got from the business. So take, for example, the industry vertical that they focus on, such as retail, such as e-commerce, such as whatever, and from that create an actual query. So what we are doing over here is we are asking to return a query. We are not simply asking to return one single query, but we are asking to return three queries over here per one for three for LinkedIn and three for the career side. One is strict, one is medium, and one is broad. The reason why we do this is that we saw that if we return just one job query, um, it could happen that the job query is incomplete or it might lead to zero um, results. So that is why we find all of them. And then over here we pass over the schema of what does this look like over here. If you go within Apify over here, there's a manual way, but there's also a JSON way, and the JSON way is actually the structure over here. And then we give them some instruction over here on what are the actual rules, as well as what are the different rules for the loosening ladder over here. So we have a strict one that like specifically target a specific location, such as their location. So for example, if we look at this business at line 6 over here that is from Chicago, we are searching for the specific target for them within Chicago. So that is the focus over here. And then for medium, this is a broader space. So we are also searching uh, nearby cities. And for broad, we are searching either US based, or if the region is very big, we are searching the full country, the full region. So yeah, that is what we build over here. Then we have a simple if statement over here. We check if we are using LinkedIn and then set the actual configs. So within this block, what we have over here is we have the config for strict, for medium, and for broad. And just so you have an understanding, this is an example of what are the configs and the query. I think this is not actually that readable over here, but I will explain a little bit more right now. Then what we are doing over here is we are passing this over directly to Airtable, to Apify, sorry. So to Apify, we pass this to get all the job postings. I think right now, let's go directly to the Apify one. This is the structure over here, and this is the reason why we are passing three of them. So we run the first actor over here to do a run on the strict job posting query. So for example, we have a specific query for a specific city with some specific job titles, and we run that. Over here, we are checking for a specific amount or a specific limit. Generally, the limit is 3. So what we are doing over here is if we get some results from this, so if we get some actual job postings from this, and let me show you an example of what we get from here. Those are essentially job postings of different specific jobs. So what we are doing over here is we are checking if we are getting 3 or more job postings, we can go to the next steps. Otherwise, we go down here and then we go to the run API actor medium. And if that doesn't match the requirements, we go to run API actor broad. And as well, another thing that we are doing over here is we are checking for second execution. And if this is set to false, which is by default set to false, we rerun this with the opposite configs. So at the beginning, in the previous step over here, we are checking if we should use LinkedIn or not, because some specific job posts are present in LinkedIn, are more present in LinkedIn than in other job postings. Meanwhile, what we are doing with this instance is if we didn't find anything on LinkedIn, for example, we search for a career site and we go over career site. So in this way, we are effectively running a possible of 6 different queries to find job postings for that specific person. Then what we are doing over here is we are checking if this is part of the delivery system, which is not when we are building the email, but this is another part. Maybe I will do a video on that side. And then we craft the message snippet. The message snippet is essentially this part over here with the company name, which is this initial part over here, the job title, the date, as well as what is the location where the job title was posted at. So this is all information that we get from AP5 from those two scrapers. Once this is finished, what we are doing at the end is we are just building the snippets. So the snippets essentially are the part at the top, the job types part. So over here, engineering, for example. This is pretty simple, pretty straightforward to get. We pass over the messages as well as we pass over the snapshot, and then from there we get the information. And finally, on that side, we update the Google Sheets, and once we update the Google Sheets, we have all this information within the Google Sheets over here. So we have the query that we used. We have the API query that we used in the end. So as you can see over here, we have, maybe I should zoom in a little bit, but we have LinkedIn Broad, LinkedIn Medium, Career Site Broad. This is useful later on when you need to build the full list for the people. So if you know that you use LinkedIn Broad, you can take that LinkedIn Broad once again, and instead of running that for 10 people, you can run that for 24 people and get the full list. And then over here, we have the job postings as well as the job types, which is the last part over here. The last component over here that I told you before, if this is the last item in batch, we send the resume URL that will start the process over again from here. So this wait block waits until it receives this HTTP URL. So as you can see over here, we can resume this on a webhook call, post a 200 response, and then once it receives this, it starts with the next batch. So this full system allows you to build hyper-personalized messaging at scale directly through n8n with something that can actually scale and is not for tutorial based. So hope this was useful. Hope you get a full understanding of this. Let me know if you like videos like this. Let me know if you would like to integrate this within your business. You can check the first link in the description. With that said, hope this was useful. Talk to you soon. Bye.